Hello aspirants, welcome to IAS by Heart. Once again, welcome you all for the session 24 of the prelims is season 2. In this session, we are going to look at 10 most probable questions that can be expected in your upcoming prelims examinations. Why? Because most of the time, the aspirants are not able to pinpoint the topic that can be expected for the preliminary examination. So, as a mentor, IAS by Heart provide the pinpoint topic that can be featured in your upcoming prelims examinations. So there are 10 questions to be discussed. Without any further delay, let's get into the discussion. The first question is from the topic quality. So consider the following statements. There are two statements given. We should find the correct statement. Why? Because question is about correct statement. So this question has been modeled based on the inspiration from 2019 question paper. In that year, there was 40 question paper 44th amendment and 99th amendment. Both these amendments are related to the independence of judiciary. So by inspiring from this model, we have formulated question from lawmaking of Indian Parliament. So before solving this question, I will give you 10 seconds for your answers. So before solving this question, we are moving to the explanation area to gather more information with regard to lawmaking in Parliament. How Parliament makes laws. First, the bill is generated and submitted in the lower house, that is Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Then introduction in either house in case of non-money bill. If it is money bill, then it can be only introduced in the Lok Sabha. So bill sent to committee for or discussed in house itself. If the bill needs more scrutiny, it will send to the committee. Otherwise, it will be discussed in the house itself. And then if it is sent to committee, it will give report. Based on the report, the house will may accept or reject these recommendations by the committee, and then discussion takes place in the house, and then whether bill is accepted or rejected, then it's sent to other house. That is, if it is introduced in Lok Sabha, it will send to Rajya Sabha, otherwise the vice versa. Then other house approves or gives recommendations. Joint session of parliament if required. If there is any deadlock between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha with regard to this bill, in case of it is not a money bill, then joint session can be held by Prime President, and then President approves or sends back for reconsideration. After that, the bill becomes law. So this is a short note of lawmaking in India. So after going through this page, we are coming back to solve this question. No bill can become law and no budget will be sanctioned unless approved by Parliament. Yes, this is correct. Why? Because without Parliament approval, no bill can become law and no budget can be sanctioned. And then no bill can become law unless approved by President of India. Yes. Why? Because this is why President of India becomes a part of Indian Parliament. So both the statements are correct. So we can conclude that option C is the correct answer. Both the statements are correct. After solving this question, moving on to next question. This question taken from modern history topic. So question is about Mook Nayak, a Marathi fortnightly laid the foundations of an assertive and organized Dalit politics. It was published by. So question is, there was a description. We should find the associated personality from this four personality. So this question has been inspired from this question. Prelims 2019 question paper. In that year, Vital Vidvaneshwar asked the first monthly journal to have the untouchable people as its target audience was published by. There were four important personalities given. We should find the correct personality. So by inspiring from this question, we have formulated this question. Now, before solving this question, I will give you 10 seconds for your answers. So before solving this question, we are moving to explanation page for getting more information. Jyotirao Govindarao Phule, Bhimaraji Ambedkar, and then Jagjeevan Ram, and then Babu Mangu Ram. Okay, there were four personalities given in the question, so we can get more information about all these important personalities. So yes, Jyotirao Govindarao Phule is a social reformer who worked against social evils like untouchability and caste system. So he was a social reformer and a strong advocate of women empowerment and education of girl child. So he stood for both. So he stood for removal of untouchability and caste system. Also, strong advocate of women empowerment. Bestowed with the title of Mahatma in 1888 by social activist Vital Rao Krishnaji Vandekar. So in India, there were two important Mahatmas. One is Mahatma Gandhi, and the next one is Jyotirao Phule. dedicated his work book Gulamgiri, which means slavery to African American movement to end slavery. So his book, important book is Gulamgiri. Started Satya Sodak Samas for removal of socio-economic backwardness of Dalit. So important movement for upliftment of Dalit in India. Bhimarao Ramji Ambedkar. In 1923, he set up Bahishkriti Hitkarni Sabha, which was devoted to spreading education and culture among downtrodden. He was also important social reformer with regard to Dalit politics. In 1936, Ambedkar founded the Independent Labour Party. Yes, important fact for the upcoming prelims. Attended all the 3 roundtable conferences. He was the only important personality who attended all the roundtable conferences. Important works means Mook Nayak, Janta, and the annihilation of caste, untouchables, and Buddha or Karl Marx. So all these are important for the upcoming police examination with respect to Bhimarao Ambedkar. Jagjeevan Ram, instrumental in foundation of All India Depressed Classes League, an organization dedicated to attaining equality for untouchables in 1935. So important personality. In 1946, he became the youngest minister in Jawaharlal Nehru's interim government. Important information with regard to Jagjeevan Ram. Serving as independent India's first labor minister, introduced several policies and played an instrumental role in enacting the Minimum Wages Act, Industrial Disputes Act, and Provident Fund Act 1952. This important actor associated with Jagjeevan Ram. Okay. And then Babu Manguram. Babu Manguram Mugowalia, founder of Adi Dharma movement, important movement with respect to upliftment of the Dalit in northwestern India. Through the Adi Dharma movement, Babu Manguram pioneered Dalit movement in North India. Okay, good. It was aimed at awakening untouchables. So all these personalities are associated with upliftment of depressed classes or Dalit untouchables. Okay. So after going through all this information, we are coming to solve this question. So Mook Nayak is published by our great Indian freedom fighter Bhimarao Ambedkar. So the correct answer would be option B. Moving on to next question. Third question from economy. So which among the following is or are the components of external debt of India? Important, very, very important. Why? Because during COVID pandemic, the external debt of India was vigorously discussed in news forums. Okay, so there are 4 components given. We should find them correct one. This question has been inspired from 2020 question paper. In the context of Indian economy, non-financial debt includes which of the following? So UPSC asks question about the component of India's financial debt. So that's why this question has been formulated by inspiring from this model. Okay, so I will give you 10 seconds for your answer before proceeding to the correct answer. So before solving this question, we are moving to explanation page for increase more information. India's external debt stands at USD 558.5 billion by end March 2020. Important fact: 558.5 billion India's external debt. Which of the components? Trade credit and advances, external commercial borrowings, NRI deposits, multilateral bilateral loans, special drawing rights, and then debt securities. If you look at this graph, from the year 2011, our debt is keep on increasing. See this curve. So only in mid of 2013-14 and mid of 2016-17, it has been somewhat slight, and then it has been continuously rising till 2020. So consistently rising. This is a keyword here. So after going through this information, we are coming to solve this question. So first one is external commercial borrowing, NRI deposit, investment in corporate securities, trade credits. So if you look at all these things, investment in trade credits also comes under external debt of India. Indian foreign countries investment in Indian corporate securities. So all these are correct. So the correct answer would be option D. All these are component of India's external debt. Moving on to next question. This question has been taken from the subject geography. So consider the following pairs. There are important 4 pairs given. We should find the correctly matched pairs. Okay. So canals are straight and associated connection. The Suez Canal connects Mediterranean Red Sea. All these canal and straits connecting associated connections. So this question has been inspired from this question, that is, it was asked in the year 2020. So the question is about river and which this river flows into. So based on this model, we have formulated this question for the upcoming prelims examination. And then why? Because why this question has been taken? Because recently Suez Canal was blocked by the important big container ship that's called Ever Given. So this question can be expected, this type of questions can be expected for the upcoming prelims. So before solving this question, I will give you 10 seconds for the correct answer, and then we will proceed into the correct answer. So before solving this question, we are moving to look at explanation for getting more information. List of major straits and list of major canals. There are two headlines given. We should look at all these things. Suez Canal linking the Mediterranean Sea and Gulf of Suez. Yes, it was in frequently news with till last week. Panama Canal connects connectivity between Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean through Panama Isthmus. Yes, this is incorrect. List of major straits. Hormuz is connected Gulf of Oman and Persian Gulf. Bab el Mandab connects Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea. Bering Strait connects Arctic Ocean and the East Pacific Ocean. Yes, this is correct. It is in the Alaska region. Strait of Gibraltar, it is between Africa and Europe, Southern Europe, that is connect Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea. Strait of Malacca connects Pacific Ocean and Indian Ocean. Important strait in geostrategic significance. Okay, so after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. So Suez Canal, it connects Mediterranean Sea, yes, correct. Panama Canal, Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. This is correct. Malacca Strait, Andaman and South China Sea. Yes, this is correct. Malacca, Gibraltar Strait is connects Mediterranean Atlantic Ocean. All these are correctly matched. So the correct answer could be option A. All these are correctly matched. Okay. So you should not be carried away with Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Ocean, rate of development, Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Ocean. Okay. Malacca Strait, you do not be carried away with this one, Pacific Ocean and South Indian Ocean. So South China Sea remains within the Pacific Ocean and Andaman Sea within the Indian Ocean. That is why option C, third pair is correct. So the correct answer would be option D. Moving on to next question, question 5, environment. This question taken from environment topic. The plant known commonly as dancing ladies or swan flowers was thought to have been extinct is recently found in. There are 4 options given. We should find the correct one. Okay, this question has been inspired from 2016 question paper. In that year, question was asked about species of banana which was found in Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, so based on this formula, we have adopted this topic here. So it was in news frequently from in all these papers. So I will give you 10 seconds for your answer before proceeding to the explanation area. So before solving this question, we are going to look at some important information about this question. A team of researchers have rediscovered a rare and critically endangered plant species called Globo andersoni from the Sikkim Himalayas. Okay, so the answer is Sikkim. Near the Teesta River Valley region, after a gap of 130 years, that is why it becomes very significant. The plant thought to be extinct for more than 135 years. Yes, more than for a century, it has been thought that this plant is extinct, commonly known as dancing ladies or swan flowers. Under IUCN Red List, it is classified as endangered. And then it is termed as narrowly endemic. Why? Because mainly it is restricted mainly to Teesta River Valley region, which includes Sikkim Himalayas and Darjeeling hill ranges. That is why it is termed as narrowly endemic. Usually grows in a dense colony as a lithophyte. Lithophyte in the sense plant growing on a bare rock. Okay, on of evergreen forest. So after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. So the correct answer would be option A. Sikkim is the correct answer. Okay, moving on to next question, question 6. This question has been taken from the topic agriculture. Why? Because in recent times, UPSC asks more questions about agriculture with regard to important agricultural issues. So question is about smart farming. There are 3 statements given. We should find the correct statement from these 3 statements. This question has been inspired from this question. It was taken from 2020. In the context of India, which of the following is our considered to be practices of eco-friendly agriculture? So question is about eco-friendly agriculture. Based on that, we have formatted this question from smart farming. So I will give you 10 seconds for your answer before moving through the explanation page for the correct answer. So before solving this question, we are moving to look at some important information about the explanation page. Smart farming, it involves a higher and advanced productivity with the existing farm practices. So with the existing farm practices, it involves higher and advanced productivity. And then it reduces waste, developing productivity and full use of resources with remote sensing. So the technology can be clearly adopted for reducing waste and increasing productivity and full use of optimal use of resources. That is why it's called a smart farming. It is also known by precision farming too. Why? Because In smart farming, it is the Internet of Things, big data analytics, and remote sensing, artificial intelligence, and robotics can be used for the enhancing the productivity and reducing the waste and optimal use of resources. It is scientifically proven that using these technologies increases profit, minimizes waste, and maintains environmental quality. That is why it is called as smart farming. So, after going through all this information, we are coming to solve this question. Farming that involves higher and advanced productivity existing farm practices. Yes, this statement is correct. Used to enhance production efficiency and the quality of farm products. Yes, this is also correct. Smart way of reducing waste in developing productivity and use of full use of resources with remote sensing. Yes, this is also correct. So all the statements are correct. So the correct answer would be option D. Moving on to next question, question 7. This question taken from the topic art and culture. Okay. So the first one, which among the following are the most famous work of famed Indian painter Raja Ravi Verma? So question is about paintings of Raja Ravi Verma. There are 4 paintings given. We should find the correct one. So this question has been inspired from the 2 questions from 2017 and 2018. If you look at 2017, 17 and 18, in the year 2017, painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani was asked. In the year 2018, Panitani painting was also. Recently, Raja Ravi Verma's birth anniversary was held in Kerala. So it becomes very important to have a look at this great personality. So before solving this question, I will give you 10 seconds for your answer, and then we will proceed into the explanation page. So before solving this question, we are moving to explanation for getting more information. Raja Ravi Verma, he was born in the year 1848 and died in the year 1906. Was a celebrated Malayali Indian painter and artist. Yes, he was the best example of fusion of European techniques with the pure Indian sensibility. Why? Because Europe techniques used oil paintings, so he incorporated European techniques into the Indian sensibility of Indian traditional stories. And then notable for making affordable lithographs of his paintings available to the public. That is why his reach was wider and had a great influence over the Indian society and Indian public. His famous paintings was Damayanti talking to a swan, Sakuntala looking for Dushyanta, Nair lady adorning her hair. It is the most important painting of Raja Ravi Verma. And then Santanu and Matsya Gandha, family of beggars, lady of flames, Farbat, Jatayu Vadam, and lady lost in. That all these are important paintings of Raja Ravi Verma. So after going through all this information, we are coming to solve this question. The first one, Damayanti talking to S1, this is correct. Sakuntala looking for Dushyanta, this is also correct. Santanu and Matsyangara, this is also correct. Jatayu Vadam, this is also correct. So the correct answer could be option D. All these are the important paintings of Raja Ravi Verma. So after solving this question, moving on to next question, question 8. This question taken from the topic society and social issues. So recently, government approved the national policy for treatment of rare diseases 2021. Consider the following statements. There are 3 statements given. We should find the correct one. So this question has been modeled from this 2017 question paper. In that year, there was a question about national intellectual property rights policy. So there are 2 statements given. We should find the correct statement. So by inspiring from this model, we have formatted this question. Okay. So first statement, most rare diseases are genetic and are present throughout the person's entire life, even if symptoms do not immediately appear. Second statement, rare diseases prevalence is very low. Third statement, there is no universally accepted definition of a rare disease. We should find the correct statement from these 3 statements. So before solving this question, I will give you 10 seconds for your answer before going through explanation page. So before solving this question, we are coming to explanation for extracting more information with regard to rare diseases. What is a rare diseases? A rare disease also referred to as an orphan disease. Why? Because is any disease that affects a small percentage of population. So nobody will be taken care of about this disease. That way it is called as orphan disease. The medicine which is producing for this orphan disease is called as orphan drugs. So this issue was frequently used for the last few years. So you have a look at it. More rare diseases are genetic and are present throughout the person's entire life, even if symptoms do not immediately appear. Yes, our statement 1 is correct then. A rare disease is a disease that affects a smaller percentage of population. Yes, our statement 2 also correct. and compared to other diseases, its prevalence is very low. Yes, this is also correct. Then national policy for treatment of rat disease. Why we are studying about rat diseases here is previously UPC used to ask about directly from national these policies. But now, if there is a policy about rare diseases, then UPC jumps into the question in taking from rare diseases, not from the policy itself. Okay, so we are going in that way. National Policy for Treatment of Rare Disease 2021. It is proposed to have a national registry for a database of rare diseases. Okay. Patients of rare diseases will soon be eligible for one-time treatment under Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Okay, important fact about this policy. So after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. As we saw in the explanation, all the statements are correct. So the correct answer would be option D. All the statements are correct. Moving on to next question. This question has been taken from the topic international relations. Which among the following are the reasons that led to India's withdrawal from regional comprehensive economic partnership? So usually, previously UPSC taken question from these economic partnerships and organizations RCEP, but in recent times UPSC has moved to other areas which are broadly speaking about this regional comprehensive economic partnerships. So the question is about reasons. This question has been modeled based on the 2020 question papers. With reference to trade-related investment measures, these are the following statements are correct. There are three statements here. We should find the correct statement here. Based on this formula, we have adopted this question here. So first one is trade balance, second one is auto trigger mechanism, third one is rules of origin. So we should find the correct one. So before solving this question, I will give you 10 seconds for your answer, and then we will move to information page for exciting more information with regard to this question. So before solving this question, we are moving to look at some information about this RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP. It is a free trade agreement, originally devised to consist of 16 countries across the Asia Pacific region. So it covers the region of Asia Pacific. Asian countries are the administrative core of RCEP. Yes, Asian countries ASEAN has 10 members. They form the core of administrative core of the RCEP. So look at this important landmark fact. It talks about important members of RCEP and their percentage of global GDP and their important trade information. What are the items going to be traded and what are the important provisions with regard to this RCEP agreement. So reasons for India's withdrawal. India withdrew from the important trading bloc of Asia Pacific region, that is RCEP. Why? Because it was unfavorable balance of trade. Nearly half of the trade balance is with China. So if India enters into the RCEP, then the trade balance will become unfavorable with regard to India and the Chinese angle. So Chinese dumping of goods from this region can be enhanced. That is why India opt out of this RCEP. Non-master rules are auto trigger mechanism. Auto trigger mechanism in the sense, if there is any goods dumping into India, then after some threshold, if there is any increase in product, the automatic trigger mechanism, that is automatically the tax rate or the custom duty mechanism can be initiated with regard to that particular product. That is called auto trigger mechanism. Protection of domestic industry, yes, with regard to agriculture and the dairy industry. Lack of consensus of rules of origin, yes. India demanded to the country of rules of origin. Why? Because if there is any Chinese products, if we block any Chinese product, they can route this product through these Asian countries. That is why India demanded rules of origin, but it was not accepted. That is why India opted out. So after going through all this information, we are coming back. So trade balance is correct, auto trigger mechanism is correct, rules of origin is also correct. So all these statements are correct. So the correct answer would be option D. Moving on to next question, question 10. This question has been taken from the science center topic. Which one of the following statement is not correct? So the question is about not correct. You should be very careful about this. There are 4 statements, 4 options. We should find the correct one. This question has been inspired from this 2019 question paper. In that year, there was a question in a similar fashion. Question was about hepatitis B and hepatitis C. So we are after the same formula here and they made the question for your clear understanding. So question is about nanobodies. So question is about clearly talks about nanobodies. So before solving this question, I will give you 10 seconds for your answer before proceeding into the explanation for correct answer. So before solving this question, we are moving to explanation for extracting more information. Nanobodies are antibody fragments. It is nothing but an antibody that are so simple that can be produced by bacteria or yeast. So it is a kind of antibody. It can be produced by bacteria or yeast itself. Then it becomes less expensive. Stable in a wide range of temperature and the extreme pH level. It makes very unique about this nanobodies. Stable in wide range of temperature and the extreme pH levels. Compatible with genetic engineering methods. It is also compatible with the genetic engineering methods, so it can be clearly extracted for the human benefit, which allow alteration of amino acids to improve binding. Okay, monoclonal and polyclonal antibodies are slightly safer to produce than nanobodies. So when comparing with the monoclonal and polyclonal antibodies, nanobodies are slightly weaker to produce. Slightly not safe to produce. Polyclonal antibodies are made using several different immune cells. Yes, this is good. Polyclonal antibodies. Monoclonal antibodies are made using identical immune cells that are all clones of a specific parent cell. So, after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. Sir, nanobodies penetrate tissues better and can be produced more easily in larger quantities. Okay, nanobodies are stable in a wider range of temperature. Yes, nanobodies are stable at the extreme pH levels. This is correct and this is correct. Nanobodies are slightly safer to produce than monoclonal and polyclonal. No, this is incorrect. Only monoclonal and polyclonal antibodies are slightly safer to produce than nanobodies. So the incorrect question is not correct. Correct answer would be option B. Okay. So after solving this question, we are summarizing our session 24. First one is making of laws with regard to polity, and then Mook Nayak from modern India, the great personality Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and the external debt of India from the economy. Canals are straight from in geography map reading, and then dancing flowers from environment, important topic, and then smart farming from agriculture. Raja Ravi Verma from important paintings of Raja Ravi Verma from horticulture topic. National policy of rare diseases 2021 from social issues and society. RCEP, regional comprehensive economic partnership from international relations, and nanobodies from science and technology. Why we are summarizing here means we have discussed diverse topic from diverse sources and diverse areas. So make sure that you are extracting best out of it. If you have any queries or questions, please post. IAS by Heart is very glad to solve all your questions and doubts. Stay tuned for the upcoming sessions. Thank you.